going on, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. It's been a while since I did one of these, so I know everybody's probably been expecting this at least a week ago or so, or several days ago. And first, I just want to start off by saying Happy New Year. This is probably my first episode of the new year on my podcast, vlog, whatever you want to call this thing. And I just also want to say, for anybody that was expecting this video, since Monday, I just want to apologize very, very deeply, because I know there's probably some people out there that have been waiting for this information on what I have to talk about today, and we have a lot to talk about today. And I just wanted to say I've been busy since Monday, since all this new information surfaced, hanging out with my cousin and stuff like that. So I was over there for half of the week, and then just hanging out on Skype with a friend of mine. So yeah, it's been circulating a little bit of busyness, so I haven't really had a chance to sit down and quietly record this video, which you're listening to now, but I finally am, so I guess that means it's all over for now, I guess. Anyway, I just wanted to get out of the way, so I just apologize for not doing this video sooner, because I've been dying to get this out there with all this news that I have to give you guys. So with that being set aside, now that you know that, I just want to jump right into it and get to our topics, which we have several things to go through. So what you're looking at right now is the official Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn website, promo website. And you can get all the new information on here that we're going to be talking about today. Most of it, not maybe all of it, because some of the stuff's on the forums that we have to look at, and we'll get to that later towards the end. But the big thing that came out was the trailer and the beta, and we're going to get into that in a second. But I just wanted to show you off this really cool artwork, which some of you might have seen it. I'm sure the majority of you guys have, but some other people that watch my vids maybe haven't, that are keeping up to date with the game. This is the artwork that was released for the New Year's update blog post thingy that was on the official website. And it was pretty cool because it shows the Year of the Snake, which is giant white serpent that's Yoshi P's chasing after. And it's pretty cool because it depends on how the way you interpret it, because they show the body of the costume thingy, whatever you want to call it, of his wandering minstrel that Yoshi P plays in the game, who his character is based off of. And it shows him with the Artemis bow, and he's chasing after him. But it shows he has two personalities. That's him in the real world, for 14, but then that's him in the actual game, like his character and whatnot, which is pretty cool. So you can interpret it as his costume that he has zipped off halfway, or it's like a snake shedding his skin, some people said, for the new year. So it depends on how you look at it. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. You see the little baby chocobo running after him, which hints to the chocobo racing that's in the new game for this year. It shows a friendly little bomb carrying a cup of coffee for Yoshi P, since he loves his coffee. And some people were kind of wondering, are these little creatures going to be companions for our characters in some sort of fashion? So that's kind of been discussed on the forums, and you can probably find it on there if you haven't already. And then the last one, some people were mistaking for a little pig, but it's actually a baby behemoth. And I'll get to that in the end when we get to the blog section on the website, and you'll probably see him resurface again on some images, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But it's a cool picture. It's actually a wallpaper that they offered for download. If you want to check it out, you can find it on the Lodestone, and I'll bring it up right here. Yeah, here we go. This is the post that I got it from. This is the New Year's greetings. This was on January 1st, 2013. And I'll briefly go over this. I don't want to read the whole thing because I got a lot to go through, and I don't want to... You guys can basically pause the video or check the website, because I will link it in the description if you want to go here yourselves. But it says, "Dawn may banish even the darkest night, yet ever shall primal desires burn. Two swords shall vie to lay them down, to lay them low. A blade born of light and a blade forged of might. Alas, man may entrust his fate unto but one." From the journal of Leonesaurus, or however you pronounce that. I don't know. It's French, but yeah, it's interesting because I found out that on the different website, well, not websites, but if the Japanese version, the German, the French, and I think it's on the UK one too. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, they have him as Loisois the Wanderer, Loisois the the fucking mage or some shit like they have like a different surname for him on each of the whatever you want to call the language backgrounds or of the, because like if you go up top, you see the top right corner, you can select the Japanese flag, the French, German, British, American. Well, each one they have like a different last name for them, so it's kind of weird. I don't know how to pronounce that. Leveleur is how I guess it's like French, but I don't know, that kind of interests me. That kind of lore type thing or whatever. But the Japanese version calls them Loisois, the mage or something like that. I don't know. You guys could look it up. That's what I heard on the forum somewhere. Someone brought up that notion. I did not know that. So cool little tidbit. So yeah, and then it says here, both our legacy adventurers as well as those eagerly awaiting a Realm Reborn, we hope we can continue relying on your support this new year. By the way of a tip-off, be sure to jot January 7th down in your calendars. So we're all wondering what that was. Well, now that we got the New Year's thing out of the way, we'll talk about what happened on January 7th, which is the Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn opening movie, now live, which is the opening movie when you boot up the game, kind of like in the original version. That's what you guys, I'm sure everyone who's watching this video has seen it by now because I've taken all week to get this video out. So I do apologize again for that, but if none of you have seen it, I will link the video so you can see it because it is awesome. And some people will probably say, you know, they've seen it before because technically, yeah, they have, but that was half of the video showing what happened at the end of the original game, and then the rest that they didn't show shows what happens after they get teleported out from Bahamut's destruction, which is really, really cool. It's a very, very awesome trailer, and you can find it actually right over here on their channel. This is their official YouTube channel for Final Fantasy XIV. I will link it again, as I always do, in the info box so you guys can go straight to it and watch them all. They have all the other videos down there that I've linked previously. But, yeah, it's interesting because the Japanese one always usually has, like, the most views, and then, like, the American one follows second after. It's funny how I always see those numbers. You can see them down here, too, but I don't know, it's just a little thing I noticed. Anyway, that's the video. You guys can check it out. It's awesome. I'm not going to play it because you've heard what happened last time I played a video on here, so I don't want to take up too much time playing that whole thing again, but I'll figure something out. So yeah, that's the video. Check that out. Pause this video now and go watch it if you haven't yet. It's fucking amazing. Love the trailer. It's probably one of my favorite CG Final Fantasy video trailers things I've ever seen Square Enix put out. It's really awesome. So yeah, I watched it like a billion times throughout the week before I did this this vlogcast video, whatever you want to call it. So very awesome. Now enough of me rambling on about how awesome the video is. I want to get to this thing that you saw briefly before, the thing everyone's waiting for, which I'm sure the whole frickin' internet's probably imploded with frickin' emails by now. It's the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn beta test. And you're probably saying, well, what do you mean like the whole internet's imploding? Well, I'll get into it a little bit later when we get to the forum section, but basically there's been so many people trying to apply that I think they were having like problems or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty nuts. Maybe you guys can tell me more about it or share in the comments, but holy shit. So let me read this off because this is the most important part that everyone's like trying to tune into, and I want to get around to this. So if I can get these fucking pop-ups to stop coming on my stupid screen, I can read this. Okay, so in preparation for the upcoming launch of Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn on Windows PC and PlayStation 3, we are looking for enthusiastic players to take part in the beta test. Players who met the Legacy campaign requirements can participate in the beta test starting from Phase 1 and are not required to apply. That's right. So basically, if you are a Legacy member, like I said in previous video, you are in this from Phase 1 all the way to the end. Now, I know I was a little unsure if you start from Phase 1 and you go through every single phase without having to ever apply again. You're just in for the whole ride. I wasn't 100% sure on that, what they meant, but now they confirmed it. So he says, however, we ask players who wish to participate in the PlayStation 3 beta test to apply for it. So basically, I'll use me as an example. If you're a Legacy member like me and you have Legacy marked on your account, you're going to be in Phase 1. So you're going to be in Phase 1. Let me rephrase that so I don't confuse anybody. You're going to be in from Phase 1 into Phase 2, Phase 3, and then Phase 4. However, what this is saying is if you are already on board to do that, 100%, they're going to bring you in and let you do that. You can also apply for the PS3 beta. So if you're in and you're Legacy, you're okay for the PC version. But if you want to play on PlayStation 3, you have to apply. So that's what I did. And I'll show you the screen in a second after I finish reading this, what it looks like. Okay, so where was I left off? Okay, if you applied to be a PlayStation 3 beta tester for Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0, way back when, and were selected to test the Windows version instead, you need not apply again to test the PS3 version. Your original application will be reconsidered when we start selecting PS3 users. However, if you wish to be considered a Windows PC tester, we ask that you apply specifically for that. So, I hope that cleared it up. If after reading that, people are still kind of, not sure, leave in the comments. I'll try and apply to them, and I'll get around to your answers. And I'll get into specifics in a second. So, this is the link to the beta test application site, and it looks like this. So it brings you to this screen, which I'm sure a lot of you have seen already, if you have any interest whatsoever in applying to the game. I have a PlayStation 3 also, so I will be getting the game also for that. Just in case it's like a backup, like if my PC fucking fries or something, or some stupid shit happens to it, I have the PS3 version to fall back on. But not only that, I'm a sucker for getting like games I really love, again, for like different versions and stuff, so for me, it's a no-brainer. I'm gonna get it anyways. And plus I like supporting the Final Fantasy XIV team anyway, so an extra $40 is not gonna kill me. They're knocking $20 off of what they would have been costing us originally, so what the hell, I figured. And plus, I like to show off to people on my PS3 that I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV when they look at my my status, so shoot me. Anyway, yeah, let's get into the basics of this. Now, I think I already read this thing on the left. I think that's the same thing that's on the lodestone, so I'm not going to read that again. But basically, if you're watching this video and you haven't been playing Final Fantasy XIV, I'm pretty sure you can still apply to this, the PS3 version. Now, I'll get into specifics. Email address up top, confirm it again, country, date of birth, blah, 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 and then you select your preferred platform. Now, like I said before earlier, if you're a Legacy member, you don't have to do Windows PC or the third option that says Windows PC and PlayStation 3. If you have a PS3 and you're already in beta, guaranteed, and you want to be on PS3 to see what it's like or whatever for any reason, hit PlayStation 3 only, and then if you have the original copy, the original launch copy, like I mentioned in my previous video for Final Fantasy XIII, it says the members code that's in there, you can enter it, and you will 100% be guaranteed to be at the start of Phase 3. That's right, Phase 3 of beta. And it says, you accept the terms, that usual shit, and then there was something else. Here it is. Apply and proceed to survey, which is optional. Now, I'm guessing that's if you don't have the PS3, I'm sorry, if you don't have the PC version and you want to, I guess you want to like see, because if you apply and you're not Legacy and you don't have a service account that guarantees you at Phase 1 or Phase 3, they randomly pick selected users if they don't have a Square Enix service account. And actually, somebody asked me about this too on one of my previous videos. I think it was the last one I did, or the beta one that I first initially posted. You can go back and check the comments. But he asked basically, what if I don't have a Square Enix account or something? Like, what if I'm not an active account user? And I told him, I'll just regurgitate what I said, is basically, if you have a Final Fantasy XIV service account, but you no longer play the game and you haven't touched it in God knows how long, and you're not actively paying for it monthly, that's still a service account. It's still technically active, it's just not actively subscribed. So, don't 100% quote me on this, because I could be a fucking idiot sometimes and get shit wrong, but from what I understand, when they said originally on the roadmap, if you need a Square Enix account if you want to be in, but you can also apply even if you don't have one, what I think they meant is, basically, if you have a Square Enix account, but you're not a Legacy member, you can get in at Phase 3 100% guaranteed. Just like Legacy members are guaranteed 100% at Phase 1. They just have to wait 2 phases. If you don't have any of that shit, you can still apply for the beta. I just don't know how exactly they're going to get you in if you don't have a Square Enix account. They weren't entirely clear on that, I guess I could say, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed something, because, I mean, sometimes I usually do overlook something, so maybe somebody else can point that out and correct me, or fill people in, and I can fix that somewhere on my page where my video's displayed. But anyway, that's what I got from that, so, yeah. Kind of lost my train of thought there, but that's a lot to digest. So if I missed anything, just let me know. Again, I'll reply to it. I'll get around to it as best I can. And yeah, so that's the beta. Sign up, get into it. They said, you know, whoever signs up first or whatever they look at first, or some shit like that. But that's probably why everybody's applying like crazy, and they're having some slight holdbacks or whatever, something like that, because there's so many people applying, they got to go through them all, and I guess something screwed up or crashed, or I don't know. But anyway, that's the beta. Sign up for it, get interested in it, check it out. I will have the links in the video below, definitely guaranteed. Just be sure that you pick the right link, because I think someone said on the forums that you have to pick the one you have to click on the US link if you're from the US, or, you know, blah blah blah, shit like that. So be careful, and question back here if you run into any trouble. I'll try and help you out, or somebody else on the video can see you and also try and help you out too. But anyway, enough of me blabbling on this freaking beta thing, because I know you all running to sign up right now. Let's head on over to the forums now. So we talked about beta so far. We're going to talk a little bit more about it, maybe, if we have time. The video, you guys can watch on your own. I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it yet, because it's freaking awesome. And oh, by the way, I wanted to throw this out there. I almost forgot. Just a little thing, nothing huge, but if you watch the trailer, if you've seen it already, let me see if I can find that page. Here we go. Yeah, you can see in the video the chocobo in the middle that the main hero is riding. It's actually the legacy chocobo. Now, people have been saying like it doesn't have the black tip feathers on its wings or its tail, but that's the legacy chocobo. So that's what it looks like for legacy members, by the way. If you are one, you get one of those, and the rest of them are just standard rentable chocobos. I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that was interested. That's the legacy chocobo that people were talking about, that they showed earlier. That's what it looks like. So it gives you a little bit of an idea of what it's going to be in game. So yeah, just wanted to throw that out there. I almost forgot. Now anyway, back to the forums, what we were talking about. Now I'm going to go through a bunch of different dev tracker post, and I'll start with this one first, and I'll just read them off. So they're pretty interesting. Okay, so this one is from Okipuit. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, I'm probably screwing that up. But anyway, Okipuit says, "Greetings. Thank you for all of the achievement suggestions, everyone. Just like in version 1.0, we plan on rewarding some of your achievements with actual in-game rewards. We also passed along some of your suggestions to the lead developer. While the specifics for achievement content have not yet been finalized, we plan on adding achievements continuously throughout development, so keep the suggestions coming." And this is pretty cool. So basically what this thread is, it's a collection of people coming up with different achievement ideas for the new game. So they're just throwing around all these different funny things and interesting stuff. So I will link this thread from page 1 in the description so you can read through them all if you're interested. So if trophies and achievements are your type of thing, this thread might interest you. So I figured this was pretty cool, and that the devs responded on it, that they take interest in people's ideas, is another real cool thing about the community. So if anybody doesn't currently play this game and you're interested in seeing how the community is and the dev team is and how connected they are with the fans, just reading these posts here and the ones that I'm going to be going through in a second just shows you how connected the team is now with the game, since all the crazy stuff happened in the past. Like, they're very communicative. It's really cool. So I'm going to shut up now and get to the next one. So there's a lot to see in here. So I'll click that one off, and we will go to this one. Alright, so these are for SLI people and Crossfire, because I know some of my friends on the old version of 14 used to use this stuff, and I heard them talk about it some of the time, but I never used it myself. I never knew exactly what it was. So so for people that are interested, this is what it says. Bayone is on here, and he says, just wanted to drop a heads up that we are coordinating with AMD and NVIDIA so that Crossfire SLI will be supported with the game when the game is officially released. So the problem in the original was, I think it was causing like some issues or something, or crashes. I don't know. Maybe you guys can fill me in on that. But apparently it wasn't being 100% cooperative or as good as people want it to be. So now they're making it where it is going to be compatible and it's going to work well with it. So it's not going to cause any issues. So that's cool for anybody that's into Crossfire and SLI, which there's a lot of people on here apparently that are. So you can, I'm going to post this thread too if anybody's interested, and you guys can go through it and check it out and stuff. So it seems like a lot of people are happy with that one. Now for the next one we're going to go to is lifetime subscription. Now this one I saw when it was really early before the devs posted, and I thought they had some pretty interesting ideas. I'm not against it personally. I think it's an interesting idea. I think I like the idea, but a lot of people bring up some good counter arguments against it for why it could be sort of useless or not so great. So if you're interested in lifetime subscriptions or not interested in them and want to voice your opinion or see other people's opinions, I'm going to put the link for this one as well. So Bayone comes in here and he says, we discussed the possibilities of including a lifetime subscription for Final Fantasy XIV with Yoshida. He has researched other companies' business models and knows that a few of them do offer lifetime subscriptions. Currently, there aren't any plans to offer this option when the game launches, but there's always a possibility it's something that could be made available in the future. So he's saying they're not planning on doing it for this game. But they're saying that they're keeping it open that, who knows, maybe they will sometime if this game does become, steady and successful and not go free to play. Which a lot of people are saying, like, if it does, then it makes the lifetime subscription kind of pointless and a waste of money. So, you could read the rest of the thread. I think it's interesting. So yeah, that's lifetime subscription. Alright, so let's see what else we got here. Oh, this one's actually really neat. So people that notice that 14 has first names and surnames, 11 only had one name. You didn't have like a surname in that game. So for people that used to ask for that back when this game first came out, Okipweet comes back in here and he says something pretty cool. He goes, good evening. Please excuse the bump. We have some updated name display information for you all. In a Realm Reborn, we will be making it possible to toggle the settings in the configuration so that you can select whether you'd like to display both first and last name or just one of the two. So basically, if you like your first name but you're not too much hot on your second name being shown, you can have it so only your first name's shown. Kind of like in Final Fantasy XI or maybe other MMOs that do that. Or, if you don't like your first name, which, if you named yourself in that the first place, I don't know why, unless you, regretted it or screwed it up or something. I don't know. I know somebody that did that. But anyway, you can switch to your surname and use that instead, which is a really cool option. I love options. I think options are fucking great, because if you have a game and you don't have options for players, it feels like they're kind of limited. So I like that they did that. I think that's a really cool idea. Very simple, not very game-changing, but it's a nice little option there for people that like that. And I know some people that have very interesting names, at least on my server, and it'd be interesting just to see one half of their name. Like, there was this one guy who was called Your Family. That's right, his name was Your Family. And it wasn't originally Your Family, because he got sent to GM jail because his name was like something else. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was something inappropriate. But he got sent to GM jail. When he came out, my friend told me he had to change his name to Your Family. So every time we saw this guy, we would do like /EM, which is like the in-game, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like an emote. Like when you type in an emote, like a little thing comes up like, oh, your character jumps jubilantly or some shit like that. Well, you could do your own custom ones if you do /EM at the beginning. So it'll be like, oh, so-and-so spanks a monkey or some shit. Like, you can type in whatever you want. So when we saw the guy, we'd be like, oh, your family, like, oh, you had sex, like, so-and-so had sex with your family. It was like we were fucking with him. And the guy actually thought it was funny, so it was pretty cool. But I don't know how the fuck I got sidetracked off talking about that. I just thought it was funny when they talk about the name thing. But he goes, we have noted your suggestions in this thread and will continue to listen carefully to everyone's feedback in order to have a satisfactory amount of name display settings. So that's there for those people that are into that shit, and I will link that thread too. So, what else do we have here? We have something about Bard. So I'm going to click this one open and get to that in a sec for anyone that's interested into Bard at all. Let me just click these ones out of the way. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's for Bard, and then we'll go to, let's see, iDesign and Steampunk accessories, which has to do with the trailer. I'll bring that one up too, just for shits and giggles. And then I'll bring up the beta application bug, and we'll check what that is. So that seems like all the recent dev posts. So let's get right into them. So let's jump to the Bard one. I think this is the Bard one. Not 100% sure. Yes, this is the Bard one. Okay. So someone asked a question about bards and their musical instruments. So they say, "Oh, Mighty Rikuri, could you answer a humble question from this old 11 bard? Will the instrument used be excuse me. Will the instrument used be cosmetic, like the anvil my blacksmith has in his trousers?" Which he means like when you're a blacksmith, you don't see the anvil until you start crafting it, like magically appears in front of you is what he's referring to. He's saying, you know, will the bard's instrument be like that, or will it be an actual equipped item? So Akiput comes back and he says, "Hi Twiddle, I apologize for the delay that our lovely Rikiri is out today, so she's unable to deliver this news personally. However, as a fellow old bard, I felt obligated to deliver the following information to you guys. There are currently no plans to implement instruments as items, but as mentioned earlier, we will be making it so a harp is taken out when a song action is selected and a musical piece is performed. Please note that this harp will not be a main arm item that you equip. It will just be a part of the animation." So what he's saying is, back when Bard first came out in the original Final Fantasy XIV, basically you just hold your hand up to your face, like you see a lot of animations if you go back and watch old videos, and it does like a little charging sound effect thing. It does like a little harp type of like bring when he does like Swift Song, or what the hell were the other ones called? Minute of Rigor. I don't remember their fucking names. It's been a while since I used them. But basically, they were kind of like half-assed. I mean, they look kind of cool, but it didn't look like a bard was actually playing anything. So a lot of people threw out some suggestions, and finally they're saying that that they're going to be doing a special animation where the bard pulls out a harp and they play something, and they all look different, each and every one of them. And it goes back to the thing that we talked about previously. I don't know if I talked about it in one of my videos or not, but anyway, it was something about black mages and white mages, where every spell looks differently. They don't all look the same like they did in 1.0 when they're charging up. So all the mages and the bards are charging up spell effects, blah, blah, blah. They're all going to be looking unique, different, changed. They're going to look awesome. So bards, you have that to look forward to. So that's awesome. Okay, so here is a big thing. This is about the beta that we recently talked about. Now, this is all the links for North America, Europe, France, Germany, and Japan. And yeah, pick the right one. So I'm going to link this link, and I'd go to that just so you pick the right one. And don't go to North America by accident if you're not from North America, because it said they had some problems with that. But I'll read this off to you real quick for beta people again, because I promised I would go into a little bit more later at the end of the video. So it goes, "Hello everyone," and this is by Kamate, by the way. Kamate says, "Hello everyone. There seems to be some concerns and confusion surrounding Legacy members and the beta test signups, so we'd like to clarify everything a bit more. For Legacy members will be able to participate in the Windows PC beta test from Phase 1 without doing anything, regardless of whether or not you applied for the beta, except for extremely rare cases where service accounts or square-enix accounts were terminated." So basically saying, if you're a Legacy member, you're in, whether you signed up or not. If you're an asshole and you fuck with us, you're not in, because you're terminated and you're not going to be in. So you're a douchebag. That's what they said there. So that sums up that paragraph. He goes, "Legacy members end the PS3 beta test." This is more towards me, because I am a Legacy member, but I also want to check out the PS3 beta test and see what it's like. "Even Legacy members will need to apply to become a PlayStation 3 beta tester, which I've done. And anybody else that wants to, you have to do that too. If you would like to participate in the PlayStation 3 beta test, we ask that you apply. When applying, no matter what selection you make on beta test application, your status for the Windows PC version will not be affected." So it's basically saying like, let's say you're a legacy member and you are in beta for PC. So maybe at one point it crossed your mind that, oh, I want to sign up for the PS3 also. Will that terminate my legacy status? Entering into the PC version. So basically, like, if you sign into the PS3 version, you can't get into the PC. That's not true. I kind of thought that at first because I'm like, well, what if I sign up for this? Will they like forget about my PC legacy status? So that is not true. That is not the case. What he's basically saying is you can be in both of them. So if you're a legacy, you're going to definitely be in the PC version. If you want to be in PS3, unless you have the Final Fantasy XIII members code, which we're going to get into a sec, then you have to apply. So he finishes up by saying, and if I can find my place again because I sort of lost it. It says, more specifically, feel free to select either PlayStation 3 or Windows PC and PlayStation 3. There is no difference between these options for legacy members, so you can pick either one. I just pick PlayStation 3 preferably, because I'm already in the PC version. Okay. So, for Final Fantasy XIII owners on the PS3, your members code that you need. So, right now, pause this video, go look at your Final Fantasy XIII. If you bought it on launch day and it's one of the original launch copies, go check that fucking thing, look inside, and see if they have the code inside there. I'm going to read you off everything you need to know right here, right now. Firstly, you do not need to have a FF13 members code to apply for the PS3 beta test. If you enter an FF13 members code, you will be given priority over those that do not. So basically what he's saying, you don't need the code, but your chances of getting in are not 100%. Basically what he's saying is, if you have the code, you're in from the get-go. Like, you're 100% at the top of the bin. So if you have that, you're going to be in a PS3 beta day one automatically for that phase 3, which is when the PS3 beta starts. But he's saying if you have, if you want to apply for the PS3 beta test and you don't have the code, yeah, you can still get in, like I'm trying to, but I don't know. It's just, he didn't say that you don't have a chance of getting in. I mean, it's still applying, so I don't know if everyone's going to get in, but I'm sure a lot of people will. He's just saying that if you have that members code, you get in first and foremost before everybody else. You're like VIP status, I guess. But he says if you have one, we recommend that you enter it. Selection for the PS3 version does not affect Windows PC version beta access. You will not lose access to the Windows PC version if you are selected for the PS3 version, which I mentioned earlier. You can get in both. It will be possible to play on both platforms with the same ID if selected. Just like the launch version, which is going to be like, it's going to be the same thing. You can play on both if you own both copies. So you can switch your same character on both of them, just like with 11. Please also note that if the PlayStation 3 beta... Please note that the PlayStation 3 beta will begin in Phase 3, like I mentioned a second ago. And this is when Final Fantasy XIII members, code holders, will, and those who wanted to try the PS3 beta in the past will be able to play. On the beta test details and requirements page, we asked that those that had previously entered their code to indicate it. But this has been removed from the English, French, and German text, as this is the first time the code is being able to be entered. Holy shit, that was a mouthful. I'm going to link this one also if you want to read it again and proof check it. But, yeah, a lot of people just have questions about it, just confirmations. Yeah, you can probably see right here someone's asking about, like, the codes they entered 3 years ago, if it's still viable. So if you have any other questions that weren't answered in my post that I read off, read through this thread. You might find some interesting things that'll sum it up for you. There's a lot of people and there's a lot of posts in here, so I'm sure you're going to find something. And if you don't and you have an account, you can always sign up and leave something also. So here is the other thread that we talk about, and this one is referring to the trailer. So if you watch the trailer, you notice Thancred, Papalymo, Ul'dah, and Y'shtola, which are the three, well, technically four, main characters that accompany you depending on what city you start in. So if you're from Limsa like I was, you bump into Y'shtola, who is that chick right there in that person's Sig. If you're from ul'dah, you get Thancred. If you're from Gridania, you get Papalymo and Ul'dah. So basically, you find out that they survived from the end of the game. They didn't die from Bahamut. They got teleported over as well from Loiswa, which is awesome. But basically, they look different. They look the same, but they have this little... it's like a device. Some people are saying it's like a steampunk type device that they have on them. And yeah, I can kind of see that, but it looks like a mixture of a clock and like a pair of goggles or something that are like fused together on this device that are around people's necks, on their shoulders, and on even on Yidda's head if you go and watch the trailer very carefully. So everyone's questioning, like, what does it mean? What is it about? And I'll tell my take on it in a second, but Alkipuit comes in here and goes, hey everyone, while we can't offer too many specifics, these accessories and the markings on their clothing seem to be specific to our Charlian friends here. You'll have to wait a bit to find out more. So, I know the markings have to do with, like, fuck, I can't remember the official name for it, but basically the guys that were the Circle of Knowing, that's what it was. I think it's like the mark of the 12 or the mark of the Circle of Knowing or something, because they all share the same mark. But what's new is they have like these little eyes or something on their clothing that are added. I don't think they were there before, but the devices are the more notifiable ones that you can see. And I don't think there's a screenshot on here if I can find it, because I know somebody linked one. I think it's on the first page. Yeah, here it is. These are the actual images from the trailer. So there's Y'shtola in the first one. You see like the little eye design on her sleeve, and you can see the gold thing on her chest and on her shoulder that it connects to. Papalimo, you can't really see because he's kind of small there, but Yida has one on her head. Here's one with Thancred that's really zoomed in, and here's a better shot of them. You can see them more. You see him? Now, you notice on Thancred, it looks like a clock and a pair of goggles of some sort. Now, I don't know if that comes off or what, but some people were saying that, like, it has something to do with time travel. I mean, I don't know. My take is that it maybe has something to do to explain to the players that start in their respective cities how the echo works, maybe. Because the game is not following the same story. It's a continuation. So I'm guessing if you start in ul'dah, you're going to have Thancred again. Or if I start in Limsa, which I'm going to be in, I'm going to have Y'shtola still. So my guess is, in order to explain the story and the power of the echo, which revolved in the story a little bit, they kind of lost a little bit towards the end. But if it was in the main quest that you gain this power where your character can see into the past briefly, but you can't change the past. You can it's kind of like a Christmas Carol, where like he gets visited by the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas future, sort of like that, where you can go to the past and they take you there, but you can't change anything. You can only witness it and no one can see you. Well, it's sort of like that in Final Fantasy XIV with the Echo. It's a power that your main character gains, and the characters that accompany you that are like that are exclusive to your city, they gain it too. So I'm guessing that this devices to explain that to the I don't know. The clock indicates time. The fucking eye holes indicate like seeing into the past. Maybe that's my guess. Maybe it's to explain the echo better to new players, and they're gonna be like your tutorial guides. I don't fucking know. It's probably something completely different, but that's my guess on it. I'm eager to find out because it does look really cool. So I don't know. Maybe you guys have different ideas and you can share it in the comments. So that'd be pretty cool talking about that. But really cool thread that this guy posted. You can check it out. I will link it on the first page so you can check it out too. And holy crap, we are coming towards the end. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's definitely over like 30 minutes, I'm guessing. So let's get right to it. Let's get to the blog section, the last post section of this video. And this is back to the Happy New Year blog post that they released on January 1st. And it's the Year of the Serpent. Remember we talked about that? They had this guy who is the serpent. Well, guess what? That's the new helmets. Now, if you're new to 14, you're probably saying, well, that's kind of cool. And you're probably saying, did they do this in the past? I'm like, well, yes, they did. And here's what they did. When 14 first came out, it came out towards the end of 2010. So when 2011 came, we had the Year of the Rabbit. So they gave us rabbit kabutos. And kabuto means helmet in Japan. And usagi, I think meant rabbit in Japanese too. So they called it usagi kabuto. And there were different ones you can get for the Year of the Rabbit. And there's basically like a little rabbit that was like crouched down on the helmet itself. And it had little bunny ears that stuck upward, which was pretty cool. It was okay. Then next year, 2012, was the Year of the Dragon. And the dragon helmets were really fucking cool. And they came out with different varieties too. Like there was like a blue, a gold, a red, and I think I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen them. But there were like 3 or 4 different versions. And this year, we're going to get the Year of the Snake. So these actually look pretty cool. So this might be the initial one, the white one that you start out with. But there's going to be like 3 or 4 other ones that you can get to a different color. So probably would be like a black snake, a gold snake, maybe a green snake, or a red one. So that would be pretty neat. Now they're nothing like great or special. Like some of them have like cool bonuses. Like the best one that you usually get has a decent amount of stats for like starting players at level 20 or something, or something like that. But they're just a cool collector's item to have that fills up more inventory space. Essentially is how we used to look at it. But I think they look really cool. I like the snake eyes that are on the side. I like the little teeth that come out. I think it looks pretty awesome. These might actually be my favorite ones. So looking forward to picking those up when the game launches. So you'll be able to get those for free when you participate in the ceremony, which is going to be kind of weird by the time the game launches. But anywho, this is the little baby behemoth that we talked about originally. How everyone thought it looked like a pig. Well, it still kind of does look like a pig, but you can see the little horns in the hair. It's a baby behemoth. It's pretty cool. And this is just a little post from, I think it's both, yeah, Pranarabi and Fernhale said they made this post. So it goes, on behalf of the team, I'd like to wish everyone a happy new year. May 2013 be filled with many blessings for you and yours. But this wouldn't be a proper post without a few in-production pics, ninja'd from the dev team by Fernhale. So without further ado, a nasty-looking helm perfect for the coming year of the snake, and an adorable baby behemoth. So that was the post of the new year from Pranarabi and Fernhale, which is pretty cool. And this is the little baby behemoth I was talking about earlier in this pic too. How they have like these little friendly animal companions that are following Yoshi P into battle. Some people are reading a little bit much into it, and I kind of read a little bit into it too. Like I was like, oh, maybe these are like new companions. Because you remember my previous video, I talked about the bomb that was shown in the blog post and on the concept art at the Nico Nico Doga live stream. Well, here's the bomb again, the 3rd time we've seen him. And he looks like he's a friendly bomb, so I don't know if it's just like for, you know, for laughs to make it look cute and stuff, or maybe it's like indicating like, because the Chocobo indicates we're going to get Chocobo raising, so I figured the baby behemoth would indicate he's maybe like a little pet that you can keep in your household or something. So we were like throwing out these cool ideas and stuff, but some people are like, you're reading too much into it. It's nothing really special. It's just there. So I don't know. I don't think they would go to the lengths to create a baby behemoth unless it had a purpose. So, and usually when they do these type of pieces, they end up coming back some way as a form of content. So I will link you to that post of the pet thing, that companion thingamabobber that I was just discussing, and you can check that out too. Maybe even find my post on there somewhere if you're perceptive enough to find it. And last but not least, here is Hammer of the P, the latest blog that came out, I think it was Tuesday or Monday, just recently. It says the 8th, so that would be Tuesday. So Tuesday this came out. And this is like a New Year's celebration thing I'm guessing that they were doing. It goes, hello all, Fernhale here. Last Friday I had a hankering for a Diet Cherry Dr. Pepper. So I strolled up onto the company cafeteria where I encountered the following. You see Yoshi P with like this mallet and like a replica of a tree stump where he's like smashing something into it. And I guess there's like rice inside there or something. And you'll find out what I mean by that when I get to the bottom of this. He goes, madness! Had Yoshi P finally lost it, wielding what could only be the legendary Mjolnir to exact bloody justice on the cafeteria's oh-so-rustic furnishings, as frightened bystanders scrambled to flee the chaos? Or could it just be that merely using a giant wooden mallet, in tandem with the sharply dressed gentleman in the foreground, to pulverize a hot blob of gluttonous rice, resting inside a hollowed-out tree stump, all to make it a tasty New Year's treat for his loyal minions? We may never know. But at least I got my beverage. That's Fernhale leaving that funny little post. So, yeah, that's why I figured there's rice in there. And I guess it's like a Japanese tradition that they do for New Year to smash up some rice in there and serve it. I don't know. But it looks pretty cool. It looks like he's having a good time. And it's funny because the thing that he's wearing, I don't know, I think it's called the... I can't remember them. But they were in Final Fantasy as like the summer event that we got something that looked like that. They're not kimonos, but... it's like a half a robe. I forget what the hell they're called, but you guys could probably remind me. That's what it reminds me of from the summer event a little bit, what he's wearing. But, Whew, that was a mouthful. That's basically everything for today that I gotta go over. We went over all the blog posts that you guys got to check out. We went over the various forum threads that we got to check out. You got the link for the YouTube new trailer, which is freaking amazing. Go watch that trailer again. It's awesome. Here's the beta sign up page. I got it here. I'm going to link all this stuff for you guys. If you have any questions, any concerns, don't be afraid to ask. Me or somebody else on my videos will comment and help you out. We'll get you in that beta so we can play with you guys and have a good time and make this game awesome and give them all this crazy fucking feedback to blow our fucking dicks away. So, whew. Okay, that's going to do it for today's episode. If I forgot anything at all, I will make another video just in case. So be sure to remind me, and if not, I'll get around to it if anything new comes out next week. One thing I might do is I might wait at the end of each week to do these updates. I'm not sure. I'm still debating it because I'd like to maybe, like, instead of doing a bunch of videos and spamming your guys' inboxes, maybe waiting the week and include everything that went on during the week and basically summarize and recap on it, or if I should just do it like the second I see it in my inbox or whatever and do a video on it. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think or what you guys want, and I'll form my strategy around that or whatnot. But okay, that was a mouthful. I keep saying that, but man, that was a lot to talk about. So thank you guys for tuning in. All the links you can find in the comments and the info box and the comment section if there are any. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it informative, and hope to see you guys again on the next one. Thanks, and hope to see you all in beta soon enough.